Do you want me to give you some examples of what kids will
Sorry, Bob,
come
I think
across?
we need to know.
Yeah, so, I mean, you go into the youth space section and you immediately go into the heading the first time. There's a video from Lizzie Marvley which talks about all the different ways that you can connect with another person. And then there's sections on fingering, hand job, oral sex, anal sex, because apparently 12-year-olds need the government to educate them on that. And there's PIV sex. Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh, well, actually, that's the sex that creates babies. It's penis and vagina sex. But, you know, it's so
Well,
rare.
hey, hang on. That's a bit radical, Bob. Back up the bus.
And then there's hot tips, including 12-year-olds, about how to keeping sex toys clean. And then, of course, you get into the whole gender ideology theory. I think I just...
Okay, does it tell you how to send dick pics safely?
Well, I was interested to see whether there was this, don't cut off the head so that you don't see the identity of the person, as in that let's talk about Welcome to Sex book that's currently around. No, I couldn't find any evidence of that, but of course they do get into the whole mythical concept of, sex assigned at birth or born in the wrong body. And then there's a section on pronouns, of course, and then bisexuality, pansexuality, a video on asexuality, aromantic and demisexuality. And then there's a section on transitioning where they talk about medical transitioning, and there's subsections on binders, on vocal therapy and surgeries, and it links to advice on binders and tape with images as well, and genital reconstruction surgery. Now, this is what really concerns me, that the Classification Office thinks that 12-year-olds and effectively children under 12 should be able to have free access on their phone to this type of material funded by the government and effectively endorsed.
Well, we are going to ask Ben, put it on the list, we are going to ask the Classifications Authority what the hell they've got to do with this project and why they are. Because I think it's crazy.
They would argue that it's around the whole area of net safe, safe internet surfing. But the problem is that the app that they're behind is probably one that we would...
Well, we're still trying, and I'll just bring Ben in here. We tried to get hold of the woman. What was her name?
From Canterbury University, Tracy Cleland.
Tracy Cleland, the leader of this project. What did we get back from her yesterday?
We got back something along the lines of this.
So just crickets from Tracy Cleland. And if you're listening, Tracy, for goodness sake, explain what you're doing with our money and why this is part of being a university lecturer, is propagandizing kids on transgenderism. Because, Bob, let's just call it what it is. This isn't education. This is advocacy.
Yeah, it is. And in fact, she has just completed her doctoral thesis on, interestingly enough, parents as sexuality educators negotiating uncertainty, risks and possibilities. Actually, Family First gets mentioned a lot in her thesis because of the fact that we're raising concerns that parents are raising. But when you go into the Beyond the Birds and Bees and actually look at some of the research that they say they have done, they say they say potential challenges to implementing RSE in primary schools is, they say, teachers who aren't qualified, having to use outside groups. But this is the key bit. They say, third, quote, the loud voices of religious or culturally conservative groups or lobby groups with extremist views on gender issues. Speak Up for Women and groups that believe a woman is a woman. Continuing, who oppose teachers and schools' position to teach around gender diversity and other RSE-related topics, end quote. And then they say the fourth issue problem is that schools have to consult regularly on this stuff. Sort of so annoying, they need parental and community support. And then they talk about the fact that when they've talked to school leaders, that there is concern, misunderstandings, they call it, predominantly from parents and whānau, but also community groups. So, they sort of, on one side, they say, parents are important sexuality educators, but on the other half, on the other side, they say, oh, parents are getting in the way and, they're raising these concerns and they're completely unreasonable, and why do we have to consult with them every 2 years? So, I would be very wary about the messaging that's coming out